of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Black 80. Check 53. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Check it back. Black 53.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And some space here. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Running to start the drive is Samuels. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check 15. I got one. 24. Hey, wahoo! Here we go.
2nd and 5 now. Roethlisberger. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there, 1st down. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Roethlisberger now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Easy. Let's go.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
So first and 10 now from the 30. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
They go with Chubb on second down, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
It's fourth down.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. For a lot of people, MVP award means the quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
At the 46-yard line.
Bravo!
On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. 12 yards there and a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
On first down, it's Samuels. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So the sack, and now a third and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Looking downfield for Dez. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
And there to make the tackle, Steven Nelson.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 3-yard line.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Jackson now down around his goal line. And they'll have it just 5 yards away from pay dirt here, 1st and goal. Well, they were obviously backed up, had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it, and...
Yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise him and catch him off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he made the stop.
Yeah, most of the cornerbacks we know, they want to be those pass defenders and take away one half of the field. But the best ones in the game are the complete cornerbacks, able to tackle and run support, as we just saw there.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, Because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Now Roethlisberger on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again. And now it's second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger will throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Boswell's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. 16 yards, a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll run with Chubb. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Well, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Here's Roethlisberger. Escaping and this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
The Browns drive about to get started. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. A run for Nick Chubb. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check.
From the gun, Jackson. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's caught inside the 35.
That's it, baby. We got one.
49-yard gain. That's good for a Browns first down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. They run. Chubb. Sean Davis that time on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 27, Jackson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. N'Keal Harry, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Going left side, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 28 yards. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Left 30. 50.
On 2nd down, Samuels. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. And Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They run it again with Chubb. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense.
Let's go now. 55, 55. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 45-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
Set. 61. Check 55, Mike. Let's go, D. Big shot. Shoot. Watch the safety creep.
And again, it's Chubb. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Now Jackson, forced out to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Roethlisberger on target to Washington, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Buying time to his left. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards, the final tally.
66.
They'll run on 1st down. Samuels. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver or tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Gallman will run it. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Now they go for it on 4th down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And this Browns defense stands tall. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time.
Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing is Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Got a man open. That's Harry. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
That's the way. Six, get 3. Kill. Hey, turn it. 22, Jet Bomber. 22, Jet Bomber. You got tape.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Chubb. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. It's a gain of 35. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
And the Steelers.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 13-yard line. Roethlisberger now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
45.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Roethlisberger toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd down and goal. Roethlisberger. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Kill, 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 kill.
On the carry, it's Chubb. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Jackson now. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked.
Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Chubb. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 28. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch.
Now Chubb running right, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Check 26, check 26.
Chubb will get the call running left. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Handoff comes to Chubb, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yeah, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Roethlisberger to throw. And a coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Credit that breakup to Greedy Williams.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Roethlisberger. Eluding the pressure right. Washington's got it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain there of 21 yards. Now Roethlisberger. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. So Cleveland...